Joining us now to talk about all of this is Democratic Senator Richard Blumenthal of Connecticut. Sir, thank you for being with us. And we're hearing from sources telling us, as we just heard the report there, that Hegseth could fire half a dozen general and flag officers soon who are seen as too political. What is your reaction to that?
These reports are pretty shocking, Brianna, because the military is supposed to be above politics. What Secretary Hegseth seems to be doing is applying a political loyalty test to the top ranks of the military. These professionals, career militaries reaching the top ranks, have devoted their lives to the country. They put their lives at risk, and they have the allegiance of the troops and sailors and airmen under them. It is a blow to our professional military for a political loyalty test to be applied to the chairman of the Joint Chiefs of Staff, C.K. Brown, or the head of the Navy, Lisa Franchetti. And I've worked with these individuals. I know them to be people of integrity and the utmost professional dedication to our military and our national defense.
What about the budget cut piece of what he wants to do, calling in this new memo for military leaders to provide 8% cuts each year for the next 5 years?
8% cuts every year, or even just 1 year, will have a dramatic, deleterious, and damaging effect on our readiness and preparedness. For the threats that are only increasing around the world, they are likely to be met with stern, steadfast opposition on both sides of the aisle here. We've been calling for increased investments in the types of weapons platforms, advanced training, AI, cyber, other kinds of defense investments that are vital to our national security. We have yet to see the details, but I can say you unequivocally that the opposition is likely to be deep, dramatic, and pretty enduring on both sides of the aisle.
Do you see what he's saying as maybe sort of an opening salvo and a bit of a negotiation that ultimately wouldn't be that much? I mean, why not scrutinize the Pentagon budget and expenditures? It's never passed an audit. I know you hear from some of your constituents who will, without knowing the details, they like to use the refrain that the Pentagon budget is just too big.
And there is room for improvement and elimination of waste. But what Elon Musk and his tech bros are doing essentially is to lay waste to departments and agencies across the government. The Secretary of Defense has a really sacred obligation to look carefully and thoughtfully at the line items and where spending can be successfully cut. I have a few ideas, and I've advanced them in the Armed Services Committee where I sit. But across the board, draconian cuts are unacceptable. We need a scalpel, not a meat axe. And this approach is likely to provoke very strong, robust opposition on both sides of the aisle.
So as you know, you're also on the VA committee. So you're aware, and you're watching these cuts at the VA. And also I know you're aware that almost a third of the federal workforce is composed of veterans. The federal workforce and many administrations, including the Trump administration, have purposely tried to bring them in to the workforce. And we're talking about veterans who are getting clobbered by these firings and other overhaul moves. What are you all on the committee talking about doing about it? I'm sure there's bipartisan concern here.
Well, I'm hopeful that there will be bipartisan concern. So far, Republicans have been strenuously silent and unforgivably, in my view, on the sidelines. We have raised these issues in more than 20 letters that I've sent to the VA secretary as the ranking member, as I am on the VA committee, demanding answers, because the ones getting clobbered, and 1,000 people have been fired, are the probationary employees, many of them younger veterans who are coming to the VA with future careers of serving our veterans, and the ones being hurt are the veterans themselves. We're receiving reports from all around the country about cardiology, mammograms, mental health services being delayed or denied, benefits being not
because of the
forthcoming.
cuts.
The PAC Act, because of these cuts, we're receiving reports of services being delayed or denied, and they are essential. For example, the Veterans Crisis Line, suicide prevention efforts. These kinds of services literally are often a matter of life and death, and our veterans, who are our heroes and have served our country, need and deserve better. That's why I have urged that these cuts in spending and the hiring freezes be rescinded.
Yeah, they let some of those crisis line folks go, trying to get them back. I do also want to talk to you about the FAA, because you wrote a letter that was obtained by CNN to the Transportation Secretary, Sean Duffy, and you asked for the reversal of firing of staff there. The acting FAA administrator said in an agency-wide memo, "I want to assure you the agency has retained employees who perform safety-critical functions." Do you take him at his word?
Absolutely not. The individuals who have been fired, nearly 400 of them, we believe, are the aeronautical information specialists, air safety personnel, maintenance of radar experts. These kinds of safety critical personnel are maybe not the ones in the tower, but they make the air controller's job work. And so we've asked for information from the Secretary of Transportation, Sean Duffy. We've also asked him to reverse these cuts in personnel. It is exactly the wrong time to be cutting air safety personnel after the recent spate of crashes that we've seen in Reagan Airport, Nome, Alaska, Philadelphia, Toronto, some of them tragically fatal. And what they're doing is further undermining public confidence in air safety. Even though it may be safe, the near collisions and the crashes make this time absolutely the worst to be doing these cuts in air safety personnel. There's no question that they are there for a reason, to make the air controller's job effective and our safety assured.
Yeah, big questions about what kind of support staff they are. Senator Richard Blumenthal, thank you so much for being with us.
Thank you.